Hi, darling. Good to see you again. I hope you've been okay without me for the past couple of hours. I don't think I was too far off. No, just 30 minutes. You've only been home for about half an hour. How was your day? Like that. I'm sorry to hear that. What was it this time? Your boss. You know, with the amount of trouble you've been having with him lately, I wouldn't be opposed to the idea of simply paying him a very direct visit. All you have to do is just say the word. After all, I can't hurt anyone without your permission. Ugh, you're no fun. Fine, fine, fine. No harm. I mean, after all, though, with all this stress that he's causing you, I'm assuming he does the same to everyone else, too? A man like that, I don't think would go amiss. Fine, fine, no killing, no killing. Ugh, you really are a spoil sport do-gooder, aren't you? Hard to believe I got saddled with you. Though, it still makes you quite fun to play with. So, darling, you've got the weekend ahead of you. You planning on doing anything wonderful with all this time ahead of us? Work. You can't be serious, really? What the hells could they possibly be wanting you to do now at this stage? This is meant to be your time off, our time together. I see. Well, that does put you in a bit of a pickle, but, well, I have a few options at my disposal that might make it a bit better in the end, if you'd be willing to hear me out with them. Delightful. Okay, so a few things ahead of us. First off, one of the lovely things I could do is simply take care of the problem for you. There's all manner of servants of hell that need tasks to do. But barring that, let's see. I could always use a little bit of magic and just help your coworkers to pick up the slack. After all, they should have done their parts in the first place. You're being punished for their negligence, and that just shouldn't fly. Or third, I could cause an incident that makes it a little bit more difficult to, get a hold of you. What do you mean by too difficult to get a hold of you? I'm so glad you asked. Tell me, what was it that you wanted to be doing instead of this? You mentioned at one point that you'd always wanted to visit a beach, the ocean, somewhere exotic, tropical, and, well, far away from the troubles that you face today, right? Well, it just so happens that there appears to be an incredibly bad network outage at your building. How did that happen? It must have been some faulty power lines or... Oh no. Could it be that the network position that your boss set up was done improperly and that there will probably be an investigation that will show off his negligence? What a shocking turn of events that nobody could have predicted. Oh, darling. I can't believe that you would insist that I would get your boss fired. No, I had nothing to do with it. No, this was just a random series of coincidences that happened due to his faulty, improper handling of things in the past that just happened to catch up with him all conveniently at the same time. Well, of course, because of everything that happened and because of Somehow, a bunch of evidence showing up that you've been covering for him. Well, to keep you quiet, would you look at that? Your work has offered a bonus amount of pay to keep you quiet. Oh, I do love hush money. That's up for you to decide if you want to take advantage of it, but come on, darling. Are we really going to spend all of that money here? I hate to break it to you, but where you live, no offense, it's not exactly the most exciting place in the world. I think we could use a change of scenery. And, well, I may have already put things in motion. Well, of course. There's a beautiful, beautiful bungalow on beachside front property waiting with our names on it all the way in Thailand. Oh, sweetness, I think you forget who you're talking to. We don't fly. We take a more express trip to our destinations. Come here and take my hand, sweetness. Because I'm going to bite it off, of course. Oh, come on, darling. Learn to take a joke. I need to be touching you if I'm going to be doing this, and you need to be willingly touching me. So take my hand, please. Thank you. Ta-da! Oh, don't act so surprised, darling. You've seen me poof in and out around a bunch. Shouldn't come as much of a surprise that I can just pop into places when I'm needed. Or when I feel like it. There's a couple meaty stipulations about bringing you along, but, well, at least it encourages you to pack light, and we don't have to worry about pesky travel, airlines, TSA, passports, any of that nonsense. I've got it taken care of for you, sweetie. Oh, who's messaging you? A friend? Work. Oh. Can I see your phone for just a moment? Oh, thank you so much. Oh, you look so mad. Well, now they can't get a hold of you at all. What's the matter, darling? Let's be honest, you're owed a vacation. They shouldn't have any reason to actually want to contact you, and even if they could, it's your time off. You're under no obligation to answer them or check any messages, and if they disagree with that, well, they should have put it in your contract. Oh yeah, I read over your contract before we did this. But seriously, why are you so mad? I'm giving you a break. The phone was expensive. Okay, fair point, fair point. I'll buy you next year's model. Oh no, you heard me right. I didn't say this year's model, I said next year's. I got you, darling. Friends in high places, after all, right? Now, give me your hand. No, I'm not going to teleport us again. I want to hold your hand. I want to roll up our pants. I want to kick off our shoes. I want to walk on the beach. And I want to feel the water rest between my toes. I want to take a moment to relax with you. And slowly we can make our way to our bungalow, where we're going to have a nice romantic 2-day getaway. And then you can return to work feeling rested, relaxed, and at ease. Can we handle that? Good. Good, darling. I'm so glad to hear that. There we are. Isn't this nice? Hitting the spot in all the right ways. Letting your mind sink away. Why do I do what? rub your hand as we hold him. You know, now that you've mentioned it, I didn't realize that I did that. Every time we held hands, I'd trace my fingers around the back of yours. I don't know, maybe it's just a nice way to remind me that I'm close to you. I know that holding your hand is already doing that, but maybe a bit of movement helps too. You know? Good. Very good. What about you? Sorry. I should have prefaced that by asking the question in the first place. Have you ever actually been out of the country before? Really now? Isn't that interesting? No, there's nothing wrong with that. It's just... Well, I'm glad I could pop this cherry with you. Darling, do you remember what I actually am? Or do you forget? I figured that the horns and the tail make it pretty obvious. Better? You're right. I am a succubus. It's in my nature to make everything a little flirty. I can't help it. It's just who I am. Although I'm surprised as somebody like you. Quiet, timid, a disaster bottom. Would handle my flirting so well. Most of the time, people similar styles to you, I start teasing and hinting about what's in the future and they get all blushy and whimpery. Don't get me wrong, I love that too, but it's nice to be able to still have a conversation with someone, you know? Absolutely. So, beyond drinking heavily, having delicious food, relaxing, swimming, is there anything you want to do while we're out here? Ooh. You want to go boating? You know, actually, I think I have something a little bit better. Just a little bit. It's in the same line of thinking. I'm pretty sure we can go out and rent some jet skis. Mm-hmm. Oh, don't worry about the money, darling. You know I'm good for it. I mean, they do say that you can't buy happiness, but you can buy a wave runner, and I don't think I've ever seen anybody sad on a wave runner. I mean, it doesn't exist. It's like a compassionate angel. It's just not in the cards. Oh, that's right, you never actually met one. Try to think of the dictionary definition of stick up its ass. I think you'd get a picture of an angel with that. Sticklers for rules upon rules as written with no urge to bend or break. They're simply everything the way is as it's meant to be, and it's so boring. No room for that little bit of chaos or little bit of, well, excitement. So count yourself lucky on that department. That you summoned me instead of one of them. The jet ski does sound nice. I think that would be a great lot of fun tomorrow. But for tonight, I think we could go out to a nice dinner. I could treat you to something delicious, maybe. Oh, I think they have a nice taco place not too far from our bungalow. Yes, a taco place in Thailand. I know. They do it's they do a bit of fusion there. It's more of a bit of Thai food and a bit of tacos. It's really good. Oh yes, darling. I've been here a few times before. But let's stay on track. After I fatten you up with a nice, delicious meal, take you back, I can show you. Well, I can show you the very kitted out toy box that I brought along, too. Well, your first few times with me was meant to be just plain and simple, but now we get to explore your taste and get a little bit on the wilder side of things. Happy weekend, darling. Hi there. Thank you so much for listening to part 4 of Accidentally Summoning a Succubus. This is slowly turning out to be one of my more favorite series, and I hope you're enjoying it. If you liked it, I would really appreciate a like and or subscribe. It really helps grow the channel, and I'd love to hear any comment that you'd have to offer. I do my best to read every single thing that you guys mention, and do my best to at least react in some way. If you'd like to see some more adult-themed content, as well as probably next month, a follow-up to this episode in particular, you can head on over to my Patreon down below. Link is in the description. And I just want to say thank you so much for listening. I hope you have a wonderful evening, morning, or afternoon.